the Coldwell Banker Move Meter. What is it and how do you understand it? I've got all the answers finally for all of you that you've been waiting for. Join me on Moveonomics and I'll dig into the nitty-gritties about the Coldwell Banker Move Meter. Hello and welcome to Moveonomics. I'm Peter Fife with Coldwell Banker Northland in beautiful Prescott, Arizona, where Prescott is everybody's hometown. Let's make it your hometown too. Now, a lot of people use the Move Meter tool and they look at it and they go, what does this number mean? Is it high? Is it low? What's going on? So I'm here to make all the confusion go away and help you be able to put in any city you want to move from and any city you want to move to in the United States to know, is it a good move? Is it not a good move? Okay, first and foremost, the score goes from 50 on the low to 100 on the high. So if you were to type in a city and say, I'm going from Seattle to Baton Rouge or whatever, if that number was 50, you'd say, oh, shoot, that's not good. 75 is even, 100 is high. Now, I've played with this a whole bunch. And most of the time, it comes in between 66 on the low and 80 on the high. You're like, what are you talking about? It's just all mamby-pamby. What is it all? How does it work? They make the score off of 4 different areas. Number 1, housing affordability. Number 2, quality of life. 3rd, job market strength. And 4th, living affordability. They get this information from various outside sources. So it's not like they're doing all the stats, okay? And they're just comparing them. And they quantify that number in each section. So let's dig into it. Let's say you were moving from Carlsbad, California to Prescott, Arizona. They gave it a 73 score, which I highly disagree with. But here's the key when you look at the Move Meter. Make sure you scroll down and look at the details, because the details are going to tell you whether it's important to you or not. One other important factor to take into consideration, they do not include any crime statistics. That to me is a big deciding factor. Newsflash, Prescott crime is pretty minimalistic. Okay, so let's look at what they said. Okay, home prices in Carlsbad, California are an average of 1.5 million versus 615,000 in Prescott, Arizona. That's a good thing, right? Property taxes, though, in California are 0.7%, so we are 0.39. So again, we win there. Home appreciation. This is where it gets interesting, and this is why it affects the number. Carlsbad has at a 9.5% average appreciation versus a 1.4% appreciation in Prescott, Arizona. And price per square foot is $598 in Carlsbad versus $295 here. So if you look at it, you say, well, they might appreciate more, but let's go with Prescott now. So let's look at the quality of life. This I thought was interesting. Education in California got a 94 score and we got a 79. So they say their education is better. If you're retired, who cares? Okay, but that's factoring in the fun into the thing. Healthcare, they get 100 for healthcare in Carlsbad. Really good healthcare. We get a 63. And fitness. I don't know if they know about fitness, but whatever. I guess I'm not one for fit. So, weather grade. California, some of the best weather in the world, gets an 89 and we get a 70. It'd be interesting to see what Minnesota gets. Just saying. Nothing wrong with Minnesota, but if they give that like a higher score above 50, you know somebody is smoking the devil's lettuce. But anyway, we'll go on to air quality index. Air quality index. So here in Prescott, we are the cleanest air in America. We get an 85. We should have got 100. Carlsbad got 43 for some reason. Commute and transit, talking about public commuting. Yeah, we don't do so hot here. But they say it's 31 in Carlsbad, which is interesting, and we're at 52. We're supposedly better. Like I looked at Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, New York was 100 for commuting, and we're 52. Interesting. Accessibility. How accessible are things? Carlsbad, much more accessible. 77, we're 60. Why? Because you're always at least 15 minutes away from somewhere, but never more than 30 minutes away from anywhere. They look at miles. So in somebody nationally looking at it, oh my gosh, you have to drive 5 miles to the grocery store. That's terrible. That's 5 minutes here. You might be 1 mile away from a grocery store in Carlsbad or New York and take you 35 minutes to get there. So you've got to quantify these in your own brain to say, what what's more important to me? That's why you dig into it. Culture and entertainment. Well, Carlsbad wins us for culture and entertainment. They get a 60 score. We get a 57. Now let's look at job market strength. This is something more important to somebody who's younger. And this is important for you younger crowd. Like if you're going from XYZ city to another city, are you going to come out ahead or behind? Well, here's the way to look at it. What's the median household income? Carlsbad, the median household income is $134,000 and in Prescott it's $66,000. So the way you look at that to weigh it heavier or lighter is if you're moving to Carlsbad, California, and you're getting a job that pays you $60,000 a year, and you're making $40,000 a year in a place where the median household income was $40,000 a year, you're going behind the 8 ball, not ahead. Even though it looks like a $20,000 a year raise, you've got to look at that and judge that. Now, future job growth. Carlsbad was 73, Prescott was 79, maybe. Recent job growth, Carlsbad is down 0.73%, Prescott's up 0.56%. Unemployment rate is 4.2% in Carlsbad and only 3.7% in Prescott. What about living affordability? Let's look at state income tax. California pops in at 9.3% state tax. I think it's time to move from there to our 2.5% in Prescott, Arizona. Not much. Utilities, this is what I don't understand. They say utilities in Carlsbad are 34 and we're 39. That doesn't make any sense because I know they pay way more for power because I've had lots of clients come from California to here and it is not cheaper. Okay, food and groceries. They said that they're 68, so they score higher. We're 45 for food and groceries. I have no idea where they come up with that number because we're cheaper than California all day long. Food, unless they're talking about accessibility for food, maybe like there's grocery stores in every corner. Sales tax, 7.75% in California to 9.18%. Transportation costs, they're at 77, and we're at 43. So all these numbers, you have some pros and some cons, and they weigh all this stuff together, and that's why they come up with this number. That's why these numbers are usually that 65 and 85 range. I've never seen a perfect 100, and I played with it a lot. If you do find a perfect 100 moving from one place to another, let me know. I'd like to see you can get the highest score. So email me at peter@listingprescott.com. Play with the move meter. Just go to listingprescott.com and click on my move meter, which I'm going to attach there so that you can check it out and play with the move meter all you want to. It's a fun toy. Now you know what the score means, but dig into the details because that score can mean a lot more to you than somebody else, meaning, hey, this is way more important to me than the other one is. Culture and entertainment might be super high on your list. Oh, gee, Prescott might not have that. And guess what? Call me and ask me about any of those details, and I'd be happy to tell you about it. So 928-636-7000. You know where to find me, and make sure you subscribe. Thanks for joining me on Moveonomics, where Prescott is everybody's hometown.